So tell me this, day. We got you on here, Day. Sorry, I mean we got you on here. Tell me a little bit about this is more of a basketball thing, but it doesn't mean more of a sports thing. But this goes to esports. Learning how to stay calm under pressure. Tell me a little bit about that.
Um, Learning how to stay calm under pressure is really just about like you having to just having self control and learn how to stay calm under pressure could really do a really really good thing, or it can be a really really bad thing depending on what the subject is. You gotta just be calm and stuff.
Now, but here's the thing. So I'll just put you on the spot, like what we're doing now. At first, now you did a great job at first. Were you calm though? I mean, think about it. This is your third time being on. Well, actually, fourth times yours. Was you kind of calm? Well, how was it?
I mean, at first I was like a little nervous, and then as it started to go on, you feel more and more relieved, and you get into like the mode.
But I mean, let's get back to it. Have you had a future in watching? A past watching podcasts and things.
Somewhat. It isn't like I watch like boxing podcasts and stuff like that.
No, really.
Yeah.
I mean, that's good too. I think a lot of times, tell me a little bit. We talked a little bit about communication, but about the teamwork now. I want to know a little bit about this teamwork. Tell me about building of it, because I mean, you have several friends. I mean, I know I watch you have several friends, right? But also, one of the things I heard them say to you is, oh, David, he can do that. He can do that. And when it comes to some of the production type things about cutting things, apart and, getting it ready. How does that make you feel when they say the teammates say they can kind of rely on you?
I mean, it makes me feel like, they're really like depending on me. But then at the same time, like I want them to also feel like they should be able to do it too. Like at the same time. Like we should all be on the same level.
How does that work though? I mean, because this is what teamwork's about.
You have to probably just like teach it to them, explain it to them, make sure that they understand it. So then we can work as a team. When you work as a team, it'll be faster. No matter what you do, working as a team will always be faster than working by yourself.
Right, because tell me just real quick and we'll move on but for you, are you a better individual player at things or a better team player at things?
Team player, because you can't do most things by yourself. Like let's say, for example, like a basketball game and you just wanted the ball every time. Eventually you're going to get tired on the court and you're going to want some help. You're going to be mad if you don't get help. So you're going to obviously want some teammates to help you score some points, help you on defense, because you can't play defense against 5 other people by yourself.
Right. So a lot of what we're talking about now. Have you played multiplayer games like team? Is that kind of what he's saying too?
Oh, absolutely. Especially when it's like a low amount of people, like a 2-player game or a 3-player game or something like that. 1 weak link, your whole team could be shot. So I mean, skills definitely come out a lot when it comes to gaming. I think it's one of those activities not outside of like physical things. It's one of those activities that really more stimulating, because like communication, as you said, is very big. If you can't talk with your teammate, like things might not go your way, or y'all might not be on the same wavelength, just like in the workplace.
Right.
If y'all don't actually do the things that y'all say you're going to do when y'all are communicating, things might get out of whack, just like in the workplace. If you're not reacting quickly enough for things, it might not go your way, just like in the workplace. Like there are many things that you can equate from there, and many skills that they say are bettered from doing things such as gaming, such as like an individual's reaction time or their hand-eye coordination and things like that are all said to be improved with something like that.
Right. So, and the only reason why I'm relating to that is because you like I said, you're a sports person, right? But when you talk about, now we're going to talk a little bit about character and that's what Mike was alluding to about character. Tell me a little about great players that you know. Now it might not be locally, but there's great players that you know. What gravitates you toward liking these players? Just real quick, as far as any baseball, football, basketball, any kind of soccer, whatever.
When it comes to like liking players, I don't just go from like what you just see. I go from how people act, the personality, how they play the game, how they respect the game, and their point of view of the game.
Yeah.
Like it could be like video game or sports, either or. Because when I do decide to play a game, I don't just want to play a game with somebody who's going to get mad or over this, over that, over any little thing. You can play somebody that's like calm, somebody who has good positive energy, so that way they don't put bad energy on you too.
Let's see. I mean, a lot of times when we talk about staying respectful, you was talking about, and then also, sometimes even encouraging teammates. NBA, you were talking about. We won't get into that, but because I think you were the one who was talking about, who your favorite player was. You don't have to mention it in NBA, but we went back and forth about that as well. But do you see, just not naming them, but do you see like some room for improvement in that player in those things that you named?
Yes.
Which then comes down to it. And I know we're talking about the gaming, and we'll get right back on it. Which makes me think though, but then what makes you like him if he doesn't display these characteristics?
You can like a character that doesn't display all of them, but because some people can't have all characteristics.
Right.
But there can be a few characteristics that stand out, and it can make you, like the person makes them stand out like an outlaw from the other players.
Right.
It's different.
But so the reason why I brought that up is a segue to this about learning about your losses, and that's a part of character, being a character and building character as well. Learning from your losses, learning from your mistakes, basically, is what I'm saying as well. But you do have to show humility when you win. But that's sometimes not the way. How are they gonna know if you don't brag about it and post about it?
Yeah.
Right? It's one of those things. You seem to come off like that to me, or just if the team won, you won.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's you can't teach that though. Sometimes it's embedded in you to feel that way. Tell me this though, and we know character matters, and it does matter more than your rank. And I think that's kind of the difference when I talk about collective apex. I get it. I mean, like I said before, building towards something, but it doesn't always have to be like a rank or anything like that. It can also be just like the camaraderie. The sportsmanship, showing that and building in that way. I think this is what this, definitely Apex would be. It's one of those things. I mean, I'm not saying to deter people from, like I said, we want people, to get scholarships, gain scholarships, if that's the case in that, or give them another avenue. But I mean, if that's the case, you still have to learn and have good character as well. And I think that, can go hand in hand with both the things we're talking about as well. And that's, something that, we have to kind of focus on more as well. The other part, real quick, when we're speaking about this, Mike and Dede, is leadership, right? Leadership as well. It's a lot of positive communication when it comes to leadership as well. But we have to sometimes, and it's going to happen. Tell me this. I don't want to name, but is there a leader of your group?
I believe so. And I would say not because this individual wasn't there in the beginning that I would say is the leader. But I would say just because of the input that they give, the willingness to speak up, the willingness to say when they dislike a suggestion that was made without tearing the person who made the suggestion down, the way that they take note of all the things that's happening inside of a certain meeting. I would say so. But all of it, nobody in the group outright picked a leader or anything like that, but just from the tasks that are being accomplished and the things that are being done, I think the person made themselves that.
See, that's great. I mean, leading by example, right, is one of those things as well. And that's what it takes sometimes as well, when we think. Now, and then real quick, because I had to jump in because I don't know, because he plays like shooter games too. You've played it before, right? But could you communicate with your people?
Yeah, you get like little headsets
Right.
with the little microphone on it and stuff.
I-
You could speak to people and all that on you can do it on Fortnite games.
Right. So you played it to
stuff
me.
like that.
How did you like that though when you were kind of conversing with other people?
It was like kind of like you kind of think about it at first. You're like, oh wait, should I talk or should I not talk? It's like you think about it sometimes. You're like I can just put it on mute and just play the game, brother, or I can try to talk to the people online. Sometimes you have to make the choice, and sometimes the choice isn't as easy as you think. Because somebody could be talking trash online about you, and you could either talk or you could just not talk. And sometimes I'll just be like, yeah, it's not talk.
See, and I don't know if Mike knows this or not. It's somebody that he knows, very well. It may pick him up, may not say a word. And then if you went inside that house and heard him, you like, who is that person? And I'm telling you, but I do believe that, I'm not saying talking trash part, but I do believe the communication with others is needed. I mean, for your social, definitely to gain and to definitely build your social skills. I do believe that, but I mean, it's just very amazing. Like I said, for rarely ever says anything, but then online, it's like a totally different person. And that's the thing. I mean, it's all in fun. I would say, really didn't go in his room to hear him, but other than because I could hear him outside the room, didn't have to. But like I said, you probably wouldn't hear this person say about 5 words. And this is not being, mean or not being disrespectful. It's just the way it is. And that's the thing. So you have to definitely, understand that. But, and that's kind of,